What's up, everyone? Welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about a surprise patch that we had where they nerfed the Superi 46 today, as well as the Kar98k. I got into the game and tested these both out manually already, so I have them live on TrueGameData.com if you want to check them out. But that's what I'm going to be covering in this video, exactly what changed with both those weapons, if they're still the best weapons in the game, or if they got knocked down quite a bit. But as always, if you guys appreciate all the work that goes into making the website, getting the weapons tested, programming the website, programming all the features, making the YouTube videos, everything, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, drop a like on the video, but let's get into it, and we will talk about the surprise nerfs that we got today. First up, let's talk about the Superi 46 changes. This was the top SMG. If you didn't see my close range meta video from a few days ago, I'll link that down below. I said this was a decent bit better than everything else, but there were trade-offs with some other weapons. But I think after today's changes, it's going to be much more balanced. So the top three weapons are all going to be pretty much tied, in my opinion. So what were the changes? Basically, they added new hitboxes all. So there's a new damage multiplier for stomach and lower arm. That's this blue hitbox you see on the image. It does 35 in the first range, 31 in the second, 29, 27 in the third and fourth. So obviously, if you hit all stomach shots, that's going to make your TTK worse. But how does this actually affect combination shots? Well, let's go look at the STK tool on TGD, which will really help us get a feel for this. So the STK tool is a premium feature on TGD that helps you understand how, when you miss a certain shot location, it's going to change the time to kill. So obviously before, if you missed chest shots and hit stomach shots, it didn't change the TTK at all because chest and stomach were the exact same damage. Now, stomach and lower arm have been nerfed down to this 35 damage value. So what this tool does is it shows you if you hit 4 chest shots, because chest is our chosen base shot location, 4 chest shots and then 5 stomach shots, your TTK is going to go up to 720 milliseconds from that 630 that you would get with all chest shots. This tool is really powerful as well because it can help you see how many headshots it takes to reduce your time to kill off of the chest hitbox. In this case, it takes 2 headshots in the first damage range off of chest shots. So that's going to be that used to be a pretty common thing. But now mixing in a stomach shot is going to be relatively common, which means it's going to take more than 2 headshots in those cases. So I think this is a really, really good balance for the Superi. It was just a little bit too good, and now I think it really just balances out with the other top options really well. So that's the first damage range from 0 to 14. So if we go to the next damage range from 14 to 25.5, that's going to take up 95% of your engagements with this gun. So I don't think we need to talk about anything beyond that. But you can see this is another reason it was so good before. In the second damage range from 14 to 25, you used to have that huge upper body hitbox, neck, chest, stomach, and arms being exactly the same. And all it took was 1 headshot to reduce that time to kill down to 630 milliseconds in the second damage range. But now, with this decreased damage to the stomach and lower arm, those are going to get mixed in sometimes. And like I said, in the first damage range, that 1 headshot reduction in TTK is not going to happen very often, but it still can happen if you're very precise with your shots and you hit all chest, upper arm, neck, and head. So it's still going to be very good. I just think this is a nice balance, nice reduction to the TTK potential in some scenarios, but overall I think it's a good change. We're going to have a pretty balanced close range meta now. Onto the Kar98k here. What actually changed with this? Well, essentially one of the things that made the Kar98 so good before this nerf was just that it had huge damage across the entire body. It didn't matter if you didn't hit a headshot because it was pretty much only going to take 2 shots to down someone at any range, even if you didn't hit a headshot. And if you had team fire at all, you could just put out insane amounts of damage per second with the Kar98, even if you weren't getting headshots, and then occasionally you'd get a headshot and get it down or do just a crazy amount of damage to the head. So they tried to address that with this patch. So the old damage profiles over on the left, you can see it had this orange hitbox that did 180 damage in the first range, 156 in the second range, 150 in the third range. So in all those ranges, it was enough to down somebody without plates or fully break someone with plates in this entire huge orange hitbox. And now, in this new patch, they have nerfed the arm damage, the stomach damage, and the leg damage all down significantly. So it's down to 142 in this blue hitbox, which is across the whole body now except the chest and neck. And then you can see before it used to be 165 to the stomach, 150 to the upper leg, lower leg in that first damage range. So out to 56 meters, if they had no plates, you were getting a 1 shot down, even if you shot them in the toes. And 2 shots to the toes would down somebody out to 56 meters, and now that's no longer the case. So it does 142, so it's going to take at least 3 shots from the Kar98, and the stomach does a bunch less, and that upper arm makes the chest hitbox smaller, essentially, which means that you're not going to be getting 180 damage as reliably as you would have before in that first damage range. And then that's true all the way out. So big damage nerfs in the second range and third range as well. It's essentially just reducing the damage per second this thing can output, reducing the 2-shot kill potential when you miss those chest and head shots. The chest and head are exactly the same, so if you're very precise, it's still going to be very good. But they just wanted to make it a little more balanced in terms of the actual total damage output. Now, one thing I do want to do is compare this to the XRK Stalker, and we're going to see something interesting when we do that. All right, I've got the XRK Stalker up here on the right now versus the Kar98 after today's nerf. And if you look at this damage profile for the Stalker, 300, 180, 165, 180, 150, and then same numbers over here as well. It has the exact same damage profile as the Kar98 did before today's nerf. So it literally was just copy paste of the damage profile from the Stalker, but the Kar98 had better ADS time. It had a longer first damage range, so 56 meters for a one-shot headshot instead of 51 for the Stalker. So it just really was completely imbalanced before, where the Stalker was really just kind of better at nothing except maybe like bullet velocity. But in terms of aggressive sniping, the bullet velocity is important, of course, but like ADS time and that first range damage potential out to 56 meters, that's much more important than having a little higher bullet velocity. So now with this change, the Kar98 no longer does anywhere near as much damage to the rest of the body as we just covered. So the Stalker is going to have that same damage profile. If you liked that 2-shot potential and the ability to do a lot of damage and help your team with team fights, even if you're missing headshots, the Stalker is going to be better at that now, like quite a bit better, just because it has such high damage output across the whole body. The trade-offs are going to be that it's going to be slower than the Kar98. It's going to have worse ADS time, probably worse movement, things like that, and slightly worse one-shot kill potential at 51 meters instead of 56. But you do get that huge damage output. So it's just a trade-off. I think these things are much more balanced now, and I think it makes sense to choose either one of them now, whereas before it just made no sense to pick the Stalker whatsoever. Now the Kar98 with its aim assist nerf. Also, if you didn't know about that, a couple days ago they nerfed the aim assist for the Kar98. It no longer has marksman rifle aim assist. It has sniper rifle aim assist. I made a video on that like probably 3 years ago at this point. But basically, there's no rotational aim assist with sniper rifles normally, but the Kar98 did get that aim assist because it was a marksman rifle instead of a sniper rifle. They have now patched that. It now reacts like a sniper rifle, and it does not get that rotational aim assist. All right, everyone, that is it for the video. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all of you. As always, the absolute best way to support all the work that goes into making YouTube videos, the website, programming the website, testing all the data, is just a direct subscription through TGD. Even if you don't necessarily use all the features, you can think of it like a Patreon where you're just supporting the channel as well. But I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day, and I will see you in the next video.